haven't switched on. Right, good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all this evening to the last one in 2017. The last full council meeting. Please note the evacuation procedure. Noticing you should have one on your seats. Yes. Yes. If there is any fire or anything like that, please proceed down the fire escape, round the corner, and wait out there at the crossroads, please, so we can account for you all. Okay? Please can you switch all your mobile phones off or onto silence? Thank you. Number one. Apologies.
Yes, so we've had apologies from John Thurston for being on holiday, Professor Holden Banks for personal reasons, Marilyn Anthony for illness, Darren Member for work. I've had apologies from Helen Swice for work, and Sam Cross for work, and Kevin for lateness.
Okay. Do we all accept those apologies? Can you show, please? Thank you. Number two, declarations of interest. Instead of reading all that out tonight, I'm just going to say, are there any declarations of interest, please? Just save a little bit of time tonight. Are there any? No? Not at this moment, but if you come across any through the actual proceedings, please show just before it is announced. Okay, we'll go on to number 3. Minutes of the ordinary meeting held on Wednesday, the 8th of November 2017. Have you all had a chance to read those minutes? If so, could I have a proposer and a seconder to approve them?
Yep.
Councillor Bosworth and Councillor Hatchby. And all those in favour, please.
Yes. Can I abstain? Because I have written.
You and one
Abstention.
abstain.
I've been here tonight.
Okay. Number 4, public participation time. Members of the public may now speak. Please note that 15 minutes is available to members of the public to speak. Is there anyone wish to speak this evening?
No, thank you.
No? Right, thank you very much. We'll move on to number 5. Council committees, working parties and outside bodies. A. Minutes of meeting. You have all had a chance to read the minutes. Please could I have a proposer and seconder to approve them?
I was on holiday, I can't.
No, you can't.
So was I.
Anybody else? Please.
There's nobody that was at the meeting.
Not on properties, I can't.
Yeah. So what you do, these ones, you're just noting that the actual minutes need to be passed by the committees themselves. But as a convention, as a council, you've been reviewing them.
Yes.
So you are just noting that they exist. You are not sort of affirming that they are accurate or not.
So Councillor Shackleton and Councillor Bosworth, all those in favour that these exist?
Oh, that's better.
Thank you.
Yes.
B. Reports. Unless anyone wishes to speak on the reports, please could I have a proposer and seconder to note them. Does anybody wish to speak on these reports, on the reports? John, do you?
Excuse me, so can I ask, we've done all that lot in block then?
All the A was in block, right? The B is one is from John
Me.
Casey? Right? And the other one is from... Where did I get it? Yeah. Is cat meeting.
Yes, prepared by
Both
Sharon.
yours?
No, it's prepared by Sharon, but I'm on it.
Oh, right. Right. So, have you read Councillor Casey's report?
Yeah.
Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Right, thank
Any
you.
questions?
Any questions on that report?
No. I haven't.
No? Pardon?
I haven't.
No?
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to the CAP meeting then. The CAP report. I know it takes a little bit of time to come up, but on the thing. Is there any questions on the CAP report? Councillor Casey, would you like to speak on this one? If you was happy?
Well, no, not really. It's self-explanatory. We had an interesting talk by the Scarborough Rydale Mountain Rescue, and a police report like we usually have here. And basically, that was it.
Right.
Self-explanatory, unless there's any questions.
Is there any questions on the report?
Other than the Filey Town Council are going to fund some fixed CCTV cameras to enhance the coverage of the town around the Richmond Street area to give the town a complete circuit of CCTV, and I think that's coming from the town guide reserves, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions on that? No? Do we accept that report then? All those in favour, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. Right. We'll move on then. Number 6. North Yorkshire Police Report. Unfortunately, we haven't got the police here tonight to answer any questions. You've got that report on your iPads. Is there any questions on it at all? Any observations, I should say?
Other than crimes up by 27 incidents from this time last year, which is obviously a bit of a concern. I wonder if the deployment of the tracking over in Rydale is having some impact. I did bring that up at the CAP report. Sometimes we're left with no actual physical cover in Filey, and then our cover has to come from Scarborough or further afield. So I'm sure that has some impact, but the officer that was there couldn't give me an answer. So it's something I'd like maybe to bring up at the next meeting to ask if there's a correlation between the crime figures being up and the deployment of officers further afield.
Okay. Do we all accept that report?
Yeah.
Thank you. Number 7. Borough and County Council's reports. A. Scarborough Councillor's report. Councillor Cockroach, could you give your report, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My written one, a couple of items to update. Recently I had a long discussion with Mrs. Goldsborough while she was on a litter picking run about dog fouling. This led to her accepting my invitation to allow me to formally hand over the petition that she'd organised. At Cabinet yesterday I handed a petition in respect to dog wardens and signed by over 1,000 people to Councillor Bill Chapp, Relevant Portfolio Holder. The petition had been signed by over 500 residents of Filey, the balance being from other parts of the borough and further afield. Councillor Chapp promised to discuss the issue of dog wardens with relevant officers. Earlier this year I submitted a funding bid to replace some of the rails of the seafront railings. As I'm sure you're aware, these rails eventually corrode and are replaced as and when they break. Andy Crossley and I agree that this has not been the most effective use of resources. It would provide far better value for money if a long stretch of the rails could be replaced at the same time. Pleased to be able to report that my bid has been successful and work should start in the new year. The first rails to be replaced will be some of those in the worst condition between Herrington and Crescent Head. It is unlikely that it will be possible to replace all of the rails, but the work will continue until the available funding runs out, and the bid to continue the work in future years is already in preparation. Thank you.
Are there any questions on Councillor Cockrell's report? Councillor Casey.
Yes, Councillor Coppell. Can I ask what the active intervention granted in terms of goals in 2018?
That was raised at Cabinet yesterday, and 5 is included, and as I understand it, we're going to continue with the Hawk, and also we're a council property, so there's not much in Filey, building wise, removing nests and necking. The Borough Council cannot do that on property that doesn't belong to them.
No, they can't. But I think it's right. I like to say that some councils, and I can't quote which councils they are, but some councils give a grant to private property owners to do some of this, to do build deterrent work. Is that something that Scarborough Council could consider?
I can pass it on. Yeah.
Sure, anybody else? Councillor.
I'm very pleased about the railings, because they are beginning to look a real mess. They're being painted on top of paint, on top of rust, on top of paint. So I think that's a good positive look forward for that, even if it's on a rolling programme. That's ideal. And, oh, by the way, as well, I have had a word with Councillor Cockrell about the cobbles on the anchor, and it will be done in the spring, I understand.
I've got a meeting set up in February when Andrew Jenkinson, the tourism portfolio holder, comes back from holiday to get it sorted out.
Great, that's good, because that's another thing that's not being done properly.
It's never been done right.
No. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Just one more thing, Chairman.
Councillor.
On Mike's written report about a tour of Yorkshire, there's a suggestion that Janet Deacon would be willing to come to a council meeting in January to discuss this further with us. I think that's probably a good idea, that other councillors think we could invite her, because it is a prestigious event. We've been moaning for years about not getting it, so...
Yeah, we need to move forward positively, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Councillor Meakin, then Councillor Haxby.
Regarding Crescent Hill, I don't know if you've all been down or not, but I think they're doing a good job of it, and they're about halfway. So I went down Monday, I think it was Monday I went down, Monday. I had a walk down. Workman's van were there, but all the cabins were locked up, so I don't know where. I appreciate it was cold, but I think they're doing a good job of it. It's the concrete base that I like as well. And they have gone back where they said they were going to start with that tarmac bit was fully across the road. So I do think they're doing a good job.
Councillor Haxby.
Just on that point. Obviously I've not been down there for a couple of weeks, but I have noticed that they've not removed the cobbles more or less adjacent to the high stream road, where most of the pedestrians walk across. So they're going to be removed at a later date anyway.
So your chair, I did query that with the clerk of works, and yes, that will definitely be done.
Okay.
At the moment, it's really maintaining that pedestrian access across.
It's just if they disappear off site, you're not doing it. It's a double job to get them back.
Yeah. No, I have been assured that will be the case. There has, again, talking of the Park of Works, I'm told the county are a bit disappointed with the stone suppliers, that has held up some of the work, because each stone is obviously cut to size, and they've been concentrating, in fact only cutting the parallel blocks, whereas county have been wanting latterly to get some of the tapering blocks to go around the bend. So it hasn't progressed as well as was expected.
On the same subject, sorry, John. I don't think they've been cutting them, because where they should be now carrying on, and it's cockeyed, it's not keeping going round with the curve of the bend. If you walk down and notice. So.
Okay.
Well, they did say they could go around that bend without too wide gaps.
Well, the gaps are alright.
They're going to cut them.
Where they started, they've carried on in a straight line, so now you're coming to bend, and the one to this side, which to me should be cut, so the other can go round with it. Not just not getting done. Unless they make an adjustment as they go further around the corner.
Okay. Any more questions, please?
Just a comment, Mr. Chairman. I did bring up quite a while ago about the amusement owner having apparently extended his curtilage to the cobblestones in the middle of the cobble landing over an area traditionally used for parking cobbles, especially in inclement weather. And we were told he'd agreed with the Borough Council that he'd get a long-term lease for that. It was brought to my attention recently that the bottom cafe owner has also now apparently extended his curtilage right up to the cobblestone. And he's got flags in indicating ice cream sales and all sorts. Whereas traditionally he only had 2 benches outside the front. He's now got tables, chairs, and as I say, his flags come right up to the cobble, which in effect is another 10 metres. Has he got permission to do this? And are we going to end up with no cobble landing at all if these curtilages keep creeping across the cobble landing?
I don't know.
According to Charles Baker, that is his land. I have asked to see sight of his deeds, but what he tells me is, if I remember right, there's 2 flags stuck into the concrete. And he claims his boundary is from the northernmost one to the southern post at the start of the railings going on to the chalets. The part of Cobble Landing adjacent to that is currently in the process of being registered. But as far as on the information I've got, he's on his own land. Or it certainly isn't on the Borough Council's land, put it that way.
Okay. Is that all right? Councillor Haxton?
Yeah, well, I'd say it needs sorting out because we're going to have no cobble landing left.
Well, a lot more.
I mean, I think they're relying on possession being 9/10 of the law, personally.
It's all laid down by the land registry.
Yeah. Okay, is there any more questions for Councillor Cochrane? No? Right, we'll move on to North Yorkshire County Council. Councillor Swires, this evening you had her report passed round to you. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to read it, and then obviously we can only make observations tonight. What do you do? Councillor Butterman.
I'm very, very pleased to see our community cafe at the place has won the award for innovation, the Bright Idea Award of the Year. Councillor Rick and I were down there, and Councillor Casey, were you down there at that day? No, you were there, but yeah.
Yes.
When there was video in the short clips for this.
So was I.
Oh yes, well, that was the exciting day, wasn't it?
It was, yes, it
evacuate rather quickly, so, but I'm very, very pleased. I think they're doing a sterling job down there in the Cooper Gazebo. And it was lovely to see that they've got some recognition of all their work.
Apparently it was a gas leak.
Yes.
So, Councillor Casey and then Councillor Mead.
It's just a spelling error that I've pointed out to me. 2 B's in cobble. The ultimate line at the bottom.
Okay, Councillor Mead.
Going back to what Council Boswell was talking about, the place, anyone interested, it reopens on the 8th of January. And more people will go better. I attend every Monday morning where possible.
If you're not on holiday.
Just attended the Christmas dinner.
One is smashing.
What day, first and fourth?
Fourth is the first one and the 11th.
Fourth and the 11th I attended both.
I know the breakfast looks quite nice.
It is.
Have you had one? Go on, Councillor Mead.
Only thing about the report, there's nothing about what we brought up regarding Filey. Not a thing. Just what I'd like it to be noted. The questions that we've asked and no replies to them.
Is there any more observations on this? No? Okay then, we'll move on to number 8. Town Clerk and RFO report. I will now hand over to the Clerk.
Well, sports very self-explanatory, so I'll quickly skip over that and answer questions. Then the second part of the report this month is I've put down the provisional meeting dates for early next year up until the annual meeting. So they're all there. They are just provisional. You just have to check it out so you can put it in your diary. Then what that is.
Right. Is that this point?
Yeah.
Yes. Right, I'll just come in there that you've also, I think everybody's got a timetable on here for Christmas. Closing and that. Okay.
That's for the Olympic course. That's for the bus.
Oh, this is for the buses, right. Okay then. Okay. Anyway, you've all got one of these, so if you care to take it home with you, and if anybody asks you, please pass it forward. Councillor Mead.
Is there any arrangements to have this posted, or is Colin going to do it?
Can I come in there? I was in the office when Colin brought this in this morning, and it's in the library, in the doctor's, in the coffee shed, in the notice board outside here, and there's some copies I think to go in with the notice board. I don't know whether they get put in or not, but I was in the office this morning and it's well publicised.
Well, if three of you give me yours, I'll put them in with my one.
Okay. Finance, number 9, schedule of payments. Unless anyone wishes to comment, please could I have a proposer and a seconder to approve the schedule. Does anyone wish to comment on these? No? In that case, I will ask for a proposer and a seconder, please. Councillor Butler and Councillor Casey. All those in favour? Thank you. Number 10. Council business items. Request for financial assistance. I am sure you will all have had a chance to read the agenda and attached documents. I will now open the floor to discussion, and this is on Trackrod Rally. Okay. Councillor Casey.
Oh, as well, no, the Trackrod Rally was very good this year, and they're keen to come back next year. But they were disappointed slightly, I think, with the especially businesses not giving them any much sponsorship. I'd like to point out on these figures here, I think that the start and finish arts have already been rented out. I think the White Lodge are taking those on. But I think myself that the council should consider funding part of this, possibly the scrutineering marquee. We could have a logo up there, a banner of our own up on there, which they're willing to do, and show some commitment to the event coming back to Filey after this year.
Councillor Haxley.
I agree with John, yeah, we should contribute. However, when you look at their figures, in one breath they're saying it costs over £100,000, yet the cost they list only come to 67,000. So here that's a 33,000 that's spent somewhere else. But there are no indications of sponsorship that they do get. And they do get sponsorship and this sort of thing. So if we were giving this as a grant, if it came in as a grant application, this would be thrown out. Because there is absolutely, totally insufficient financial data. You know, they could be getting 200,000 in sponsorship. Could be, not that they are, but we don't know, do we? You know, it's just unsatisfactory.
Anybody else wish to speak?
Just to ask, does this come under the grant then? Because if it comes under grant, you've missed it.
This is what I said at the meeting that I went to, Councillor Wright, and yes,
And there is no leeway in that. Once you've missed it, you've missed it.
the grant, yes.
Is this a special
This could
thing
be
or what?
this could be a special one-off. Councillor Shackleton.
I agree with Marion entirely.
Oh, yeah.
We've got good local groups like the Bloom
Yeah.
Group, Friends of Filey Parks, that have to put themselves out every year and come begging to this council for a small grant, you know. And should we look on outside organisations in the same way as we do our local groups? Everybody should be treated the same. I agree that it was a fantastic event. It absolutely was. And Councillor Casey's mentioned the scrutineering marquee. Who would actually own it? Is this to rent it or to purchase it?
No, it's to rent.
It's to rent.
To rent.
Well, it's not just a small tent, is it, Chairman?
No.
Can I do the issue about our grant scheme, which everybody locally knows has to be in before the 31st of October, but these people didn't know that. We had a meeting only a few weeks ago with them regarding possibly coming back next year. They have no knowledge of our council grant system. There was a very good meeting. They were currently last year running at a loss of £5,000 anyway. So money's at a premium to bring such an event back here. I mean, this council knew that myself and the chairman were going, and Councillor Cockle as well, to that meeting. And I think to just try and not do it because they've missed the deadline for the council grants is a bit negative, in my opinion. Especially as they don't know about the grant scheme until we told them 2 weeks ago. By which time we were too late to put in for it anyway. I think I agree partly with Councillor Axby that we could probably have more figures, but the vast majority of the cost of this track rally, as I understand it, is the permissions, which run into the tens of thousands of pounds to actually carry on the rally through the national parks. So the money they're asking here from local businesses and the town council is short, small change really. Not to us, I appreciate that, but to them. And I think for such a prestigious event, and something that could come back year after year, when this council have always been complaining that nothing comes to Filey, then I think we're taking a backward step if we dismiss it out loud.
Okay. Anybody else? Councillor Mead and then Councillor Ashby.
On the figures that Council Case has just said, we're running to a loss of 5,000, did you say, this year?
Yeah. That's what they told us 2 weeks ago.
So they are getting sponsorship from somewhere else, council accuracy. If we could get to know what that is, so if we did give them 5,000, they'd drop even this year then.
I think we've got, well, it's the adverts, isn't it? The adverts in the magazines and things like that. The thing is, they've got to make a decision, that this is what we're told, they've got to make a decision early in the new year as to where they're going to hold the event at the end of the day. And I don't think it's unreasonable to assist someone bring a major event into Filey and taking into account the increased this year, all the guest houses in the White Lodge were full, all the caravan sites, especially the one up at the country park, were full, or mainly because of the Track Road Rally. That must have had an impact on town and the local businesses. And I think we're being a bit small-minded and petty if we say we want a complete breakdown of all their costs for the last 5 years in order to give them £1,500. But then again, I'm not financing, maybe that's right.
I did ask if we could do something in kind on this, i.e. tables, chairs, a PA system. There's £1,000 down here for a PA system, right? Well, I know for a fact that to buy a PA system, a decent one, it's less than £1,000. Because British Legion's one was less than that. And I'm pretty sure that we could get hold of that one. Right?
I probably think, Chairman, that the PA system they'll need, especially on the country park, is going to be a lot bigger than the one we've got downstairs.
No, I don't mean that one downstairs. I don't mean that one downstairs, I mean the one from British Legion. One. Right?
Well, which is ideal for something in Memorial Gardens or Crescent Gardens, but not up on Country Park.
Right, just said the PA system is, so the PA system to me is similar to that one that they've got. But, after saying that, Councillor Hawley and then Councillor Wright.
Yes,
sorry, John. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the cost, but they factor in £40,000 forestry commission fees there. That big cost is there, and they are still 33,000 light. Now, this council morally cannot give money based on these sort of figures. It wouldn't be right. That's even setting aside the grant argument. And Marion was most aggrieved the other year when we wouldn't give the Bloom grant, because they were late putting the application in. And that was one of our own. I mean, it's a dilemma. But if this year, if we could do it in kind, which is tables, as you say, things that, you know, I mean, I'd be quite happy with that. But on these figures, it's just not on, you can't.
Well, I understand they've already booked St Mary's car park for that event. So, reading into that, I would say they're coming. I don't know. So, where do you go from there? Councillor Hawley.
The PA system needs to be a very big and loud one. Because you've got all these cars, revenue engines. A small PA system wouldn't be any good at all. Because they're going to have to talk over the engine lights. Now, I know Filey Music have a very big PA system. We use it at Country Park for the festival, and it's very, very loud. And I'm sure we could have a word with Chris, the owner, and get him to bring it up.
Yeah, there's £1,000 off already. Councillor Wright?
Do we know if the Tourist Association and the Chamber of Trade are willing to put any money into this? Have they been approached on this thing? Those that benefit more than
as I was the rep of the Chamber, they no longer want a council rep on there, but I'm still the rep on the Tories, and I have sent all these figures to them to email all their members, and at next month's meeting in December, January's meeting, to discuss any sponsorship.
Yeah, well, in that case, I think if we do give anything, I mean, in kind, I think that's the marvellous idea. they want anything, and if we can get a PA system, as Robert said, that is another idea. But I think we should do it as a combined thing, you know, from the town, because, as I say, I know they were disappointed at the businesses, but they must recognise that by the businesses, we don't have the Debenhams and the big ones. We're all small, individual businesses which have a limited amount of money that they can give away, and they do support by things themselves. So they can't keep giving. So they mustn't say they're disappointed now. If the Chamber of Trade has got some money to give as a group, I think that's more fair than individuals. The same with the Tourist Association. They benefited from lots of beds being taken up and that sort of thing. And I think if they've got some money, they can put a bit in. And maybe we could put a smaller amount in. I don't say not to put anything in at all, but I don't think that we can go too mad. You know, so I think the kind thing, I'm very happy with that, but what the block tables and chairs for, I don't know.
Councillor
It's
Casey.
not now.
Councillor Hawley.
I was on the Chamber of Trade last year, and these people came to the Chamber to pitch for some funds, and the general opinion afterwards when they discussed it was that the advertising they were asking them to take was astronomically priced, and the only thing reasonably, if we put like a Filey Chamber of Trade on the archway, we wouldn't be able to see it in here, because it's not that wide. So we're going to do things individually rather than as a chamber.
Right.
The chamber doesn't have any membership funds. They don't have an annual contribution from members. So the funds must be.
Councillor Casey.
Yes, Chairman, I wanted to ask the town clerk, Tom, where we stand on this, because one side is saying that it really should go through the council grant scheme, and I don't think it needs to do that. Maybe you could advise us.
Well, as a general power of competency, as a council, you can do anything that a man in the street can do. The man in the street could give them £6,329.50, so legally speaking you can. However, although that's what you can technically do, whether it's the sort of right thing to do in terms of checking their financial commitments, etc., beforehand, it's entirely up to you, but a man in the street could choose to give £6,400 to whoever he fancies. Now, the only thing that the financial regs state is that any grant in excess of £5,000 has to come to council. So, if this continues to be what they ask for throughout the process, it'll have to come here, regardless of whether you put it through the small grant scheme or not. Now, I would argue, although I recognise people would say differently, that this probably sits outside of your traditional grant scheme in the respect that it's about £1,000 more than you would ever normally give out anyway. Now, I sort of listened to what you've got to say, and there are several options. I mean, if you don't mind me. Yeah, there are several options. So one option, for instance, would be to defer this to finance, further consideration. Another thing would be to defer it until a further meeting. You could potentially reject it outright, or you could at this meeting choose to articulate that you're going to give certain amounts, either in kind or in real terms, to match some of these expenses. So you've got sort of four options. So to sort of refer to finance, defer to another meeting, perhaps where you're looking for information, reject it outright, or accept it today in part or in full, either in kind or in total amount of money. But that's my sort of whole view on it.
Okay. Councillor Hawley.
As most residents of Filey actually use their shops in Stratford, Debenhams, Big Boots and all the other big stores, is it not possible that we could approach them as if they were part of Filey and ask them to contribute towards it?
No problem there. Councillor Casey.
Well, can I suggest that this is put back to the January meeting when hopefully we'll have a full council and it can be discussed in more detail? And I'd rather it be discussed in full council than be deferred to finance. No slight intended. But I think it's an important decision that the full council should discuss and take.
So just to be clear, it's more than £5,000, council has to take this decision.
But they're not asking for more than £5,000.
In total they are. So in total, unless they say they want less than that.
No, Tom, you're wrong. This is a menu of what some of the costs are. They're not asking for £6,329. They're asking for the council to consider sponsoring some of that, so not all. That's what we were told at the meeting. They're not asking for £6,329. They're asking us to sponsor maybe the marquee or the floodlights or give them some chairs.
Okay. Does anybody else want to speak?
So yeah, John.
John?
No,
Can we go?
unfortunately, Councillor Wright stole my thunder bit. But
I did I?
yes, I did,
Terrible
Councillor.
that.
Mostly written down here what I was going to say. I totally agree with what you were saying.
What was it again?
Well, it's nice of you, it's nice of you, that, John, let's say that. Councillor,
The figures of council cases which been quoted. Where's the report on that meeting? Because there's no figures on there regarding what you're saying on this letter.
Mr. Zeno, to prove any grant for civil commitment in excess of £5,000.
that's Tom.
Oh, that's Tom.
Now, to answer Councillor Meek, when we had that meeting, myself, the chairman and Natalie, none of these figures were known. We asked them to provide figures to the council to give an idea of what sort of things we might be able to support them with. That's why I know that is just a menu. It's not what they want.
Yeah, what you said there, none of the councils here knew about that until you spoke up, you said.
Knew about what the meeting?
No, what they wanted.
Well, I'm only reading this. I didn't know this until they sent this list to Tom. Am I right? They sent you this list, didn't they?
So they sent me this list. I sent back an email saying, is this what you're asking for funds for? They replied saying yes. So therefore I assume that this entire list is what they're asking for funding for.
The first time I've seen this list is when we got the agendas like you did, Councillor Meek. So that's all. All I know is that at the meeting that I attended, they said they'd provide a menu of the things they would like to be considered. It's not, they don't want us to fund all that.
No.
I mean, I'm sure they would take it if we said yes, but that's not what they want. They want us to maybe support them with a marquee or the floodlights, something like that, just one or two of the things. That's why I don't think it's a big contentious issue myself.
Councillor Wright.
If that's the case, then they need us to sponsor a particular thing, like the marquee or the floodlights or the thing. We need a price on that. Because we can't just say, we'll give you that. They will come back in with thousands of pounds. You know, there's floodlights, yeah, 500. Start finish arch, £200.
Well, that might already be sold to the White Lodge, that's take off.
Right. Then you've got...
Which proves local businesses are getting involved in this.
Yeah, additional emergency management. I mean, I just feel that they can't just come to a council and expect thousands of pounds. I mean, we're not Scarborough Borough Council. It's Scarborough Borough Council doing things in monetary or just in kind.
In kind.
Well, they're the ones with more money than what we've got.
Mr. Cochrane wants to speak, Chairman.
At this point, I will move standing order 3E and adjourn the meeting to allow Councillor Cochrane to speak and also Mr. Wall. Mr. Green, sorry, to speak. Councillor Cochrane.
Yeah, just as regards the Borough Council, this year their in-kind contribution was 4,390. Next year it's already going up on a like basis up to over 5,000. Additionally, some of the work that was done on behalf of Trackrod by an outside company on road closures and things like that, the Borough Council have offered to do that. Still charging for it, but a reduced cost, and that will actually save Trackrod £1,300. So whilst there is no cash being handed over, there is in kind and a particular cost saving to them.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Shackleton.
Those cost savings, is that basically officer time then?
I believe some of it is, but I don't know whether all of it is. Because I don't know what's involved particularly with the road closure commissions and things like that.
Okay.
I don't think it's purely officer time.
Okay. Mr Green.
Thank you, Mr Chair. No wish to interfere at all in any way, shape or form, and obviously this is being developed as it moves along. But perhaps can I suggest a way, if you are going to give money, where you can be creative, and there's £3,000 plus VAT for additional emergency management communication equipment. Presumably if that is decided to be given by the council, the equipment will disappear with the rally people. Perhaps the way around it is to find out what they want, purchase it yourselves, hold it in your ownership, donate it to the emergency working party, emergency plan working party, and it's available for if they come back again. That's just a suggestion. Thank you.
Right, thank you for that, Mr Green. Does anybody want to ask any questions to Mr Green while the floors are open? Councillor Wright.
I mean, on that point, additional emergency management communication, is it like walkie-talkies? Or is it what
Oh,
I don't know
no,
what it is?
bigger than walkie-talkies.
Hey?
Did you see the big mast that went up on Country Park? There was a big radio mast that went up on there. I presume that would be part of it. And there's another one, I think it's in the forest, isn't there?
Yes.
To receive and that. So that could be part of it as well, Councillor Ryan.
That's just ignorance of the old jolly lot of it,
Councillor Shackleton and then Councillor...
Can I suggest, Chair, that we seem to be going round in rather ever-decreasing circles here. May I suggest that we defer this to the January meeting?
Yes.
I've said that.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Can I just make one point, Chair, to Mr Green?
Go on.
Most of these costs, as far as I remember, for higher costs, they're not to buy. So I think to buy would be a lot more probably. I don't know.
Thank you. It wasn't quite clear.
No, it's not clear.
I understand. Thank you.
But I also agree with Councillor Shackleton, it should be deferred to next council, full council in January, for a decision or not to be made. In the meantime, we can ask for further details, can we?
Right, I will now end the adjournment and only members of the council may speak. Councillor Meek and then Councillor Huxley.
Could we write to Trackrod Rally Yorkshire and ask them for a breakdown of the sponsorship?
We could. Councillor Casey.
Why don't we invite Lloyd Walker, who's one of the organisers of the event, to come to the January meeting, give us a breakdown, he can then leave and we can discuss it further.
Councillor Huxley.
I would like to see audited accounts, like we do for every other grant applicant. And if they can supply those, that's fine, there should be nothing to hide. And they should be available quite readily. And if Lloyd wants to bring them along, great.
So are you all agreeable that we invite Lloyd Walker, no relation to me by the way, along to the meeting, along with some figures that he can supply to us?
Yeah, very fine.
And verify. Councillor
Yeah,
Chaplin.
those figures would be helpful if they came in prior to
the meeting.
obviously. So
Okay,
Can I just
Go on,
clear
yeah,
then? So you're
definitely.
asking for a breakdown of sponsorship, you're asking for fully audited accounts, and you're asking me to invite Lloyd Walker to the next meeting to sort of give a quick presentation going over what they're trying to do next year in their accounts. Is that
I mean, as long as you make it clear, this is nothing we wouldn't ask of anyone that's been funded by the council.
in a similar way to the other
Yeah.
grants? Yeah.
Yeah. Is everybody happy with that? All in favour of that then? Right, thank you. We'll move on then to number 11, flood alleviation scheme. The clerk was asked to make sure members know about this at the next meeting, which is this. I am happy to open the floor to discussion if members want, or if not, please could I have a proposer and a second of this? Now this is for Country Park and the field at the back. Now this doesn't actually involve Country Park at all. They won't be coming on to Country Park. It's just Parish Wood, sorry. They will not be coming on to that at all. So this is more or less saying that it's going to begin. It's going to begin. We're not going to come on to Parish Woods. We're telling you what's happening. Full stop. Councillor Haxley.
No problem, other than the timing of it is the first quarter. Now we had one tractor up there with a trailer that caused an awful lot of public complaints about mud on the road around the Fir Tree Drive, Grove Hill Road area, to dog walkers and everybody else, and that was on the pavement of the road. As long as we can be assured that there will be no mud deposited on the highway, which I would presume is a highway comment anyway, with no problem. And noise as well, probably the hours of working need to be agreed for the surrounding houses.
Yeah, well, I presume that would be all put into place anyway, because isn't it still a law that mud shall not be left on the roadway? And
There's a law in it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure on a scheme like this, a big scheme like this, they will have sweepers that will sweep the mud off and clean it up every day. I'm pretty sure on that one. Yeah. Thank you. Councillor Casey.
Unless I'm reading it wrong, they're not even coming through Parish Wood, which is our land.
Exactly.
And they're going on land that belongs to Airport.
Yeah.
So why would they asking us?
I think this is out of courtesy that...
so if they're not coming through Parish Wood, which way will they be coming? They won't be coming on the... they won't be causing mud on the road unless if they're not coming in and out of Parish Wood.
Well, if lorries are going in and out, they're bound to be...
Well, they're not coming through Parish Wood.
No, they're not coming out of Parish Wood. Any other road that they come in and out on public highway, they've got to clean it up, a big thing like that.
Personally, I think it's all to do with us.
Okay. So, is everybody happy on that one? If so, can I have a proposer and a seconder, please? Thank you, Marion. Thank you. So, all those in favour?
Not me.
Right.
Not me. I don't think it's all to do with us.
Right. Number 12. Date and time of next meeting. The next ordinary meeting is scheduled to be held on the 10th of January 2019, commencing at 7 p.m. A special meeting of full council to discuss budget will be held on Wednesday the 31st of January 2018, commencing at 7 p.m. Thank you. Before I close the meeting, please note that everybody is welcome to stop for a drink and a mince pie and a cake. I think there's enough for everybody.
£5 a head.
You've been to that one, you've been to it. And I'd just like to say a big Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and thank you all for attending this evening. I now close the meeting.